Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Needlessly Nostalgic. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler Nichols, with my other host, Mr. Lance Valchek. Lance, we are doing something a little bit different this time, and we're getting into some TV, and it's mostly because you and I are such big Mike Flanagan fans. So figure we can start this off with talking about some Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I didn't see Hush first. I think Gerald's Game was the first time I was really introduced to him. I didn't watch the Oculus movies. I knew of them, but it personally didn't seem like my kind of thing. So
there's just one Oculus movie.
Is there just one?
At least that one that he did.
Oh. Well, there's
maybe
a
maybe you're thinking of Ouija Origin of Evil.
I could be. Yeah, they're all mixed the same. I just remember Gerald's Game and being like, oh, this is the first time I've seen Stephen King done right since Darrenbont, actually. Like he had like the heart. And so I've been kind of following him ever since. And I think if the only show I would say is that I think he's so good that he's getting backlash now for just being loved too much. I have seen comments of that's that sort of anti-wave, which breaks my heart, but I'm not going to apologize. Everything I've seen of this guy, he does exactly what I want. He's soulful. I think his themes connect with me, and obviously we'll go over different things and how we rate them. But Midnight Mass is absolutely one of his best, if not his best. I think that's safe to say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was fortunate enough that I did see Hush very quick after release. It was just one of those. Because I believe it released to Netflix first. And just happened to come across it. I was like, oh wow, I really enjoyed this. And this lead girl is really good. So then to find out that they were actually married, which I mean, obviously she shows up. I think she's in damn near everything that he makes at this point. Though, isn't she? I don't feel like she's not in Dr. Sleep, oddly enough.
I'd have to rewatch Dr. Sleep. I don't remember her, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she's a small character that I just didn't pick up on. You know?
Yeah. I've been meaning to rewatch that for a while now. So because I got the 4K, so then I've been waiting because I also got the Shining 4K a little bit ago. So I'm like, ooh, that would be a good double feature. Check those out. Because if you're going to watch Dr. Sleep, you need to at least have the Shining, at least in a little bit of your like your recent memory. No, it's because that's a movie I watch at least once a year. But yeah, I feel like Midnight Mass, it didn't come out of nowhere because of like Haunting of Hill House came out of nowhere. That was one where it was like, wait, what the fuck? Who is this? And what is happening? How does someone have such a command of the like 10 episode narrative so quickly?
I would call it life changing personally. That was the first time in a very long time I've seen anything like that. In fact, I would say things like that were rare. I don't know. Like it did horror very well. It did drama very well. Directing, score. It's just one of those things where I was like, I didn't know Netflix had it in them. And then I realized that they didn't. They just were smart enough to pay off the right guy. I'm going to segue really quick, but I want to bring it back to why this stuff matters. Is Netflix watching the show miniseries about Ed Gein.
Oh God, right? It's fucking awful.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And all I could think is like, there's moments where I'm like, oh, in the right hands with the right people, this story could be done well. But it's the perfect example of like Netflix gave money, produced it. Maybe they bought it, but whoever got their hands in it, it's like there's talented people in there. They're like it's a misfire because they're just missing. They're missing something you can't replicate. You have to have somebody who's commanding, somebody who's leading, who's the captain that truly knows what they want. That's an example of like, you could have you have material, you could have actors, you could have ideas that I think are great and stumble the whole time. Where look at Haunting a Hill House on Netflix. There's no reason that had to be as beautiful as it was at all. I could have easily gone the Ed Gein route and been a little more schmaltzy, or not schmaltzy, I guess that's the wrong word, schlocky. But try to be serious, but could come off a little corny. Flanagan doesn't, because I think he absolutely has a tone that he understands.
Dude, why the fuck are you watching the Ed Gein show? I'm shocked right now. Does not seem like a Lance kind of show.
Nope. There's this other. I live with one other person who was told by her coworkers that it was great, and I couldn't. It's like I sometimes you just gotta do it. I can't always come off like a know-it-all. So I was like, I don't know. I hear the Charlie guy is pretty decent, but I hear it's a lot cornier than it intends to be, and I would say that is absolutely what that show is. Like, it's funny, and it's not supposed to be.
Oh, 100%. I started the first episode and Charlie Hunnam's great in it. In fact, I've seen people doing Charlie Hunnam impressions these days, and that's a funny thing. But otherwise, I think I shut it off because I didn't even finish the first episode. I shut it off as soon as they tried to bring in this like the Holocaust stuff, where I was just like, okay, no, thank you. I thought this was just going to be like fun trash. I don't need you guys bringing the Holocaust into your fun trash. And then I heard all about the Anthony Perkins stuff, and I was like, yeah, not dealing with this.
It's rough. In fact, they show Psycho like in theaters as Hitchcock's watching with the crowd, and the scene is it's so more violent, like nudity and the knife going in. And I remember thinking like, no. The reason Psycho is so famous is because them not showing anything at the time was them cutting around it was so progressive and so crazy to people. It's like they imagine the knife going in, where it's like, why the hell in this show are you showing it? Like that's not how it goes. They didn't film it like that. So it's historically inaccurate. But all that to say, Flanagan deserves the hype because that shows a great example of you could have the right ingredients and still not deliver.
Yeah. But even like before Midnight Mass, because Hill House was so good, but I felt like Bly Manor was a step down. So it's like I didn't have like I didn't go into Midnight Mass like just expecting like, oh, this guy can do no wrong. Like, no, I mean, Bly Manor wasn't really for me. So I think I went into Midnight Mass then with like the appropriate expectations.
Yeah, and then not Midnight Mass, but The Haunting of Bly. I'm conflicted in that show because I think if you remove 3 episodes, I think it's a great show. I think it stumbles a lot and it wastes a lot of time. And also I feel the style, that like British style, just, I don't find that as creepy.
Yeah.
But it's still at heartful moments. So when I watched the Midnight Mass, my whole thing is I was like, okay, Honey Hill House, I think is a masterpiece. Bly Manor, I think is flawed, but I think I like the ending a lot. It had some heart and soul. So it's like, all I walked in was this, like, okay, Flanagan, you better fucking break my heart. Like, try to break my heart. And I didn't realize I was watching his magnum opus because, like, I think it took me 2 episodes. And the first episode's good. It's a solid opener. I think by episode 2, I was like, okay, we're cooking now. And it's everything he's been. I mean, isn't this is in Hush? This is what his wife is writing, right? I believe.
Yeah. So it's definitely something.
Is his thing he's been doing. This is his fucking Dark Tower.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is his Salem's Lot as well in a lot of ways. It's very similar to Salem's Lot.
This is the greatest Stephen King story that was never written by Stephen King.
Yes, 100%. It's a good way of putting it. Well, and let's do our usual spiel. This is going to be a little bit different because it was written by many people. So we'll do directed by Midnight Mass. This is from 2021. Directed by Mike Flanagan, but then written by Jamie Flanagan, Mike Flanagan, Gabriel Hobson, Danny Parker, Joyce Cherie, Teresa Sutherland, Elon Gale, and Jeff Howard. Which this is when I should say too, I was actually able to tell Elon Gale's wife how much I loved his work on Midnight Mass.
Oh yeah, you tell me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's married to Molly Quinn, who is like in Flanagan stuff. But he's also like he's pretty much a producer of all Flanagan's work at this point. Which is a cool
Flanagan
little...
Just looking at the cast though, this is the good mention that like Flanagan at this point has his crew.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And the ones that like aren't back around, like it's like you question why. Though I think I sent you this. I can't remember.
Hamish, right? How he basically was like, he goes, yeah, he broke the rule for me.
Yeah. But I looked and he's a voice in Life of Chuck. He's like a news reporter for Life of Chuck.
Yep, voiceover. Yeah. I think the question we really need to have is, let me pull up the cast so I could say his name correctly. Who's the main guy from
Zach
Haunting
Gilford?
Hill House?
Oh no,
It's like Michelle, who's in. I don't know. He plays Steven. He plays the main guy in Haunting Hill House, and it's like that guy has never been back. Everybody's been brought back, but him. No. Like, so to me, it's like that's the guy. Once I see him back, I realize that like all is good. But I'm more suspicious because like he wasn't a side character. He was basically the fucking lead. He does the ending voiceover, the beginning voiceover. It's like, how has that guy not been back? What did he do?
Yeah, because I mean, for most of the people from this show in particular, because like Zach Gilford is in Fall of House of Usher and Midnight Club. Like he's using a lot of these people, and I mean, and Henry Thomas is in pretty much damn near everything that he does. Yeah,
Henry Thomas is his like Uma Thurman to Quentin Tarantino. It's like, no, that's his muse. I love it. I love that Henry Thomas is Mike Flanagan's muse. That makes me so happy. As somebody who grew up with E.T., I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah, Rahul Kohli is another one who's been like sneakily in like damn near everything. In Life of Chuck, he's in the upcoming Carrie TV show. Like he just uses
Midnight Mass. Or no, it was Blind Manor. But still, it's like you could tell when like he brings somebody in. It's like, oh, you're my guy.
Yeah, and I love too the thing about Flanagan. He'll put these people in like such vastly different roles.
Agreed.
You're never playing someone that's super similar, which is nice. And I also want to get this out of the way early too, is that we're treating this as a rewatch podcast. So please do not expect us to go spoiler free. Like if this is your first time, watch the show and come back and listen to us, because we're going to like spoil the shit out of stuff and like mention things that are then happening later on. This is not like we're only like, we're going to go through, because this first episode or this first podcast, we're going to be going through Genesis and Psalms, the first 2 episodes, but there still might be some references to stuff later on, or just like mention of, the vampire and things like that. Some of the stuff that happens with Hamish Linklater's character stuff. There's just certain things where it's like, we're going to spoil that shit. So make sure you watch the show.
Yeah, no. I'd be disappointed if somebody's listening to us and not, because you're missing out on something beautiful. Experience it before you hear anybody talk about it. Yeah, I was lucky enough to do it. You were as well. I can't imagine like having the show be ruined for me through like a osmosis and pop culture. Like absolutely get on this. It's worth it.
Yeah, and I watched this movie or this show like right when it came out. So it was out in September. So it was essentially a Halloween watch, and it's thankfully the good thing with these Netflix shows is they usually batch release them, like they release it all at once. So it's not something you have to wait weekly for. So you can just go at your own pace, because if anything, it took a lot of willpower to just watch the first 2 episodes and not continue on, because I didn't want to like accidentally mention stuff that's like, or mix up the episodes, essentially like mention a scene that then actually, oh, that's episode 3, my bad. So I stopped myself.
It's good this time that we can do, because I'm doing the same, because I haven't seen this since it came out. Actually, I've been waiting for it. I was stubbornly hoping it would come out on physical media, and then Flanagan's tried, and they basically Netflix. Also, the fact that he left Netflix, it's like now it's never going to happen. Because I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't think he left unprofessionally, but I feel like they are insulted that he did leave, because essentially he was taken from them. Yeah.
But so as much as you say that, though, after he left, I think it was last Halloween, they had like a Mike Flanagan section. There was like a Mike Flanagan on Netflix. So then it was like because he just had so much shit licensed with them.
Well, I'm on physical media, but I haven't watched it. So all that to say is like, the good thing is when I did watch it, I batch watched it. I did. I don't think I watched it in the same day, but I'm pretty sure I did 3 episodes for 3 days and whatever, or maybe 4. So it's like, I'm actually going to be able to focus this time and notice things. And I think that's the point of like us, I think, taking our time and doing only a couple at a time. I think we're going to catch more. At least I think I will.
I mean, I noticed so many things that I didn't pick up the first time, of like shit, like the vampire is around and like a presence throughout. Like I didn't remember that in any way. They like, well, what's his name? Robert Longstreet mentions like the albatross. It's like talks like the wings of the albatross, and it's
Yep.
Yeah, I just thought he was like a drunk talking about something, and it's like, no, he saw the fucking vampire.
I obviously when I watched it, I wasn't looking at certain parts of the screen where the vampire was. So it's like I never realized that it was physically like, like as an editing trick, I just thought the guy looks at the woods, he sees nothing and then freaks out. I didn't realize like the vampire was like crouched over here or standing over here. I was like, oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of moments like that. And I mean, and the show starts off with such a like heavy note because it's Zach Gilford's character. What is it? Riley was in a drunk driving car accident and murders a poor young girl. Where, I mean, I don't know about you, but I did not know anything about this show going into it. I definitely didn't know it was a vampire show, which I think that was pretty intentional. They were trying, I think the marketing and everything, like they kind of hid that. I think it was mostly just like, oh, religious horror. That's okay. Let's see how this religious horror goes.
I'm pretty sure the synopsis they gave out was very, very vague and there's like 2 sentences. No, I knew nothing going in. In fact, up until they physically show the monster, you have no idea. Like, so you don't know, I obviously from the first episode, I'm like, oh, there's a monster, weird shit's happening. It's on an island. I'm already fucking fully invested in this.
Yeah.
No, they keep it vague on purpose, and that's how they should, because I don't even refer to this as a vampire show. So I don't want to lead with that, because I feel like not knowing that makes it so much cooler of a reveal.
Yeah.
The communion, the wine, stuff like that. There's a lot going on, but this, that's how you open a show, dude. Yeah. Like him crying, saying that Our Father, and this poor girl, eyes open, glass glimmering, the police lights, I think is visually absolutely stunning. And you're right. It sets the exact tone I want, which is like, this is not going to be a fun show. This is going to go real dark. And I'm glad. I'm really glad, because this is his big drama.
Yeah. And I mean, and the one thing too that I guess I didn't catch until this viewing, because obviously, just like you, this was only my second time seeing the show. And despite Riley surviving this is Riley's death. Like, this is when he loses all his will to live, and why he is able to essentially sacrifice himself at the end of the show. It's like he lost whatever he was with this incident. And it haunts him. We see those shots. I love the shots of him like laying on the bed, and you then have like the police lights going. Though, if I were to criticize anything, I do think that they don't need to then do the like the 180 to see that girl standing there. I think the police lights is just enough to understand that, like, what's happening in that moment.
Yeah, that's fair, because that's the visual cue you get whenever he's like zoning out and thinking of the girl. Yeah, no, that we don't ever meet the Riley of the past. It's like we meet this broken character, and his whole arc is like to do one good thing. Yeah. Which Flanagan deals with themes that I like, which is redemption, forgiveness, not honor, but sacrifice, things like that.
And morals too. He's very much it's all about morals and doing the right thing. So I like
being a good person.
Yeah, absolutely. Good person. And like, this is how you handle an ensemble. Like, beautifully introduces every single character. It never feels overwhelming. It never feels like we're not getting enough of someone. Everyone is perfectly interwoven. Like, and it makes so much sense as to how you see. Like, obviously we know, like, oh, Henry Thomas wouldn't come and pick up his son. It's like, oh, there's clearly tension there. Immediately of like, okay, the mom is very happy to have Riley back, but like the dad is clearly still has some issues with what happened. Because it's like, yeah, his son killed someone, and with how religious the family is, it's like, yeah, obviously that's causes issues.
And we set up everything. We set up the dad's bad back, his love for records. The mother's eyes. Like, it's like all this stuff's happening. The kid on the bicycle that's going through the town. It's that like almost whimsical Goonies type of shot. And we kind of cut to Katie Seagal, or is it Siegel? Katie Seagal is actually, I think, Married Children.
Yeah, Siegel.
Kate Siegel. That's so
Kate
close,
Siegel.
though. She needs to fucking change her name, you know? Thomas Mopather's Tom Cruise. She has to be this almost exactly the same as Becky Bundy. But it's like, it cuts to her and we just get a 2-second glimpse of her reading what you expect, you know, because she's pregnant. It's like, it's setting up the whole town, fishing and everything. It's done so smoothly that you're gaining information without even realizing it. I think that's why this doesn't feel overwhelming. Whereas a lot of ensemble shows don't do it well. I mean, there's only a couple, I think, that pull it off. Then this show, everybody gets a little equal time, and you never feel like you're really staying with anybody too long. Not that it matters. I could fucking hang out with any of these characters.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I want Henry Thomas's entire show of just a grumpy old man fishing. It's like I love him.
I mean, there's a lot that's hard to be able to pull this off where it doesn't just feel like, okay, now it's this person's introduction. Okay, we're giving you the little bits of what's going to be happening throughout this season. That's usually how this kind of thing feels. We're like, okay, I know what this person's arc is going to be. I know what this person is going to be doing. You don't feel that in this show at all. It's just like these people are just living a life and you're getting introduced to them. It doesn't seem like it's like being overly manipulative or overly formulaic in how it's presenting these things to you. You're just like dropped into this world, which I love.
I think all the time when I was watching the show, it's like, okay, let's say I'm writing it and I wanted to introduce these characters. Like, I think I could think of something similar, but there'd be like Flanagan has this honesty. And I don't know if it's his direction, if it's cinematography, it's the score. I mean, I believe it's actually everything, but it's like you could do this exact thing, this exact intro, the boy riding the bike and us getting the entire town and come off corny. So it's like, why does this work so well for me? How come seeing, Aaron reading your book and like the not abandoned buildings, but like the history and like how old this place is, everything feels just authentic. And that is something that as we watch this, I'm going to try to kind of pinpoint why it works so well here. But it's like, I could write this, I could do this, and it would be worse.
Yeah.
Like you said, it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like they're like, oh, there's the pregnant lady. Oh, there's the town drunk. Okay, well, so she's going to sacrifice herself. Well, obviously the drunks can get sober. But it's like, you're right, though. If we actually write down all arcs you think are going to happen, it's actually not. This is probably the best subversion of expectations I've ever seen.
Yeah, damn near everything that you would expect. If I were to just like show this to someone, like just the first episode, and be like, I want you to try to like figure out what their arc is going to be this season. It's like no one would understand it in any way, and that's kind of the great thing about it. And how weird is it to hear Rahul Kohli without his British accent?
It's funny because this is the first thing I saw after Bly Manor of him in, and it was like he pulls it off pretty damn well. In fact, I was convinced up until right now that Zach Gilford was British. I was like, his voice sounds weird. I was like, you should rule. He's faking a good American accent. Why does Riley sound off? And then I realized he's from fucking Evanston, which is just like at the north suburb up outside of Rogers Park, Chicago. So actually, some great pizza places by Burke Katz were out there. Regardless, he's one of us. Yeah. And it's like, why does he sound like he's faking American accent? I have a good ear for this. It's like, I'm all thrown off. But dude, I like Raul without the British accent. I wanted to play more Americans. He does it well.
I assume he's playing an American and Carrie. It would make sense.
Yeah, you can't. You have a Brit in some small. Well, I guess you could, but.
But he had talked in some. It might have been. I might have talked to him about it. Now that I think about it, he put on a bunch of weight for this role, which like you can't really even tell. He was trying to go for like a dad bod, but I think he was just like in such good shape beforehand that it's hard to even come across.
He looks exactly the same. I mean, he has a big beard. Beards do shape your face.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't. I mean, even because we should acknowledge too, this was actually filmed during COVID. So like this was one of those intense COVID productions where everyone tested every day, masks on. So I think that even helps with kind of the isolation of that isolated feel of the show. People do feel separated. People feel like they're not like actually intertwining nearly as much. Pretty much the only place we see people intertwining is the church.
Yeah, which I mean, even if that outside of COVID adds like a real layer to this. But yeah, I mean, that story wise though, I think that's why this whole thing works for me is that you just said it, like it's a story about this isolated island dying off. Industry's pretty much at the end. They've been tricked by the church, even nobody wants to admit it. And the only place that like we ever find solace is the church, but it's not really there, you know? It's just more out of like repetition and what's come before. It's not till I'm going to be switching between real names and fake names.
Same.
I have a list pulled up because like
these people are too Flanagan centered. Like we know them from so many Flanagan projects.
Like I mean more respect to Henry Thomas, and I won't use the character name because I think Henry Thomas deserves to be called Henry Thomas, but I might call him Ed. Regardless, you know, I like that's the theme of everything. It's like it's death. It's you bring things back. That's sad. That the few people that ever meet, they're into church, and it's not till they see a miracle that it becomes culty. Yeah. But I think that's probably why this feels so King. It's like the setting. The themes, there is a monster, but we know it's a monster. We have no idea what it is. There's mystical things going on. It's hitting like every avenue of like what I like: sad, drama, monster, mystical, island. Yeah. Grumpy guy with a mustache.
I mean, it feels so King without actually being King, which is pretty insane. Which I know even King is a fan. I know King has done one of his like quotes for the show, which I'm sure I can find it quickly, but I want to know, do you remember your first thought when initially seeing all of these people in old person makeup?
Yeah, actually I remember vividly thinking in my head, I'll forgive what I consider faulty old man makeup if it's because we want to just make sure Henry Thomas has another job. But I was like, but a part of me is like, why not just write the character younger? As I remember thinking, like, I get we want to use these people, but don't make him 70 then, because I was like, Flanagan, I'm not buying it. Now, of course, 2 episodes from now, I absolutely understand why, and I think it's a fucking genius move. But you do have to shoulder a little bit of like, it doesn't look that great. Why would they do that when I know he does such good things? I had that thought that I was a little disappointed. I was like, come on, Flanagan, like just write the fucking characters 20 years younger, dude.
Well, especially when Alexandra Isso, who from like Starry Eyes, when she shows up and she's like an 85-year-old woman, and you're like, what? Because like before that, you're just like, oh, they're just. I guess they just, like wanted to age them up slightly. But then, she shows up and you're like, what the fuck is happening right now? Why would you not just cast an old lady for this role?
I know. And the thing is, like in the 90s, that's what they used to do. And it was, listen, it worked then, it did. But it's one of those things that you got to leave in the past. Like now you 100% just need to hire another actor. Yeah. It's like it just works better. So I assumed he just wanted his crew. And I thought it was a foolish idea. Yeah. Again, 3 episodes from now, I think it's a brilliant idea and I love it. And I think the idea of them getting younger because of the blood and feeling life again, I was like, oh, that emotion is worth goofy makeup in the first episode, 100%, or first 2, whatever. Yeah.
Well, and then there's some people that are just, they have subtle changes. Like Annabeth Gish's character, she just kind of has like, she has like more crow's feet and is like darker around the eyes. Like she looks like shit essentially when she's first introduced. Like she just looks like they're essentially subtle. Yeah, like it's not like this major thing. She also, I don't think she does communion nearly as, like doesn't do it as often as the other people, because she's not like a full believer. So it's like there's tiers to this. There's some people who are taking the blood every single time. So then it's like, they're getting more of an effect. Then there's some it's just more subtle, like the mayor, Wade. Like his it's just like he has a little more salt and pepper in his mustache and like a little more crow's feet. So then the youthful switch, it's like it's much more, and it's just much more subtle than what we get from many of the other characters. Because like some of the other characters, obviously it's very, very extreme.
I think that's a smart choice. Maybe in writing, or maybe it was just how they filmed. Yeah. But if everybody was in crazy old man makeup and became young, I think it wouldn't have the same impact. I think it would still be beautiful and soulful, but I do think it'd be one of those things where it would probably be kind of cheesy and you'd have to just get over it. I do think a lot of the subtleties on most of the characters, like you're saying, where it's just a couple crow's feet or gray in the beard, I think adds a little more weight and realism to it, so that when Henry Thomas literally loses 30 years in dancing, I'm just fucking in love with it, as opposed to like, oh, every person's going from like 80 to 20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like a sliding scale, which makes it feel a little more believable.
Yeah.
And then I love too, there's a lot of subtlety, even so, like Hamish Linklater's character, like, just with how he's acting, that there's like a mysterious nature to him. Like, obviously first time watch, you're like, I don't quite understand what it is. I know he's got this fucking big massive chest that he is dragging along with him, but like there's watching it on a second viewing, it's like, because at one point Bev Keane shows up at the preacher's house and like almost like touches the chest, or then it's like, before you're just like, oh yeah, what's in there? This time though, you're like, that there's a fucking vampire in there. Do not fucking open that.
Yeah, it's like the locks on top and it's actually been opened. Yeah, no, and the thing is Hamish's style, and I think I really like him. I first discovered him in, I think, The Newsroom back in the HBO days.
Mm-hmm.
But his presence is always kind of suspicious to me. Like no matter what he plays, because his rhythm and how he talks, it's very calming and very assuring. But there's a sense of mystique. And so I absolutely was like, this guy's involved in something, whether it's good or bad. I couldn't tell. And they play it right on the line the whole time. Like again, maybe I'll change my opinion a couple episodes in, but I remember my first viewing up until the reveal of the monster, at least, I didn't know what side this guy was on. I couldn't tell. Like, he seemed very kind, but I was like, is this one of those, like, he's evil, but he believes what he's doing is right? Like, that sort of gray villain. I wasn't sure where we'd go. But I like him. I like how he plays things. I like The Stand was the worst remake I've ever seen. But him, Hamish Linklater, like played the same kind of like kind, wanted a helping vibe. And I was like, I like this guy. I want him in more shit.
Doesn't he just more Flanagan stuff? Isn't he in the first episode and then he gets the fucking disease? So he has like the big neck. Yeah.
Yep. And that show sucked. All I remember being like, oh, I like Linklater's really good in it. It's just sort of like, hey, you just gotta, I know you're not curious, Denise, but you are in this moment. We're gonna have a conversation. So,
yeah, I did like, not to get into The Stand, the first episode, I was like, oh, there's some potential here. And
it's great first episode. And then they skip over the entire fucking interesting part of the book and are like, now we live in Colorado.
It's just like fucking, and then like all the weird shit with Vegas. Vegas is like turned up into like a sitcom almost.
Yeah, like Vegas is something that should have been so dark and mean and like I want like Sexy from Hellraiser, where it's like it's sex but I'm disgusted. They did it like if like CSI Miami or CSI Nevada. It's like, it was like, who did like a mom write this? No. It's just like, and the girls had their boobs out and there was dancing and drugs. I was like, wait, is it supposed to be bad? Make it bad. It just seems like a good time. It seems like it's just cheesy TV evil, cartoon evil.
When I really liked, again, this stuff you don't notice because like the altar boys are like they're doing their usual like setup, trying to put everything around. They're like, oh, we need to get the wine and stuff. It's like, oh, someone already did.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I know why someone already did, because fucking Father Paul, it's like, oh, I got to do that myself. Can't be putting actual wine in here.
That he's curing people before we even get like, this doesn't even get paid off until episode 3.
Yeah.
Or 4. I mean, until we show the blood, but I'm saying like, so they're setting up in the first episode for you never to even pay attention to that he is already trying to heal people from the get-go.
Because if anything, you take that from a first watch and you're like, oh, he's doing more. Like, yeah, these kids, because we've already had it established that the old preacher was old as fuck and like senile and needed a lot of help with things. Because they even said it a couple times of like, oh yeah, people have been kind of propping him up for a while because they're afraid of having they don't want someone new coming in and like changing things. So it's like they've been helping things out much more. So it's like, oh, kind of shows like you're just like, oh, he's just more capable of things. He's doing things better. He's doing things that make more like he's making
more involved.
less. Yeah, he's more involved. He doesn't have like need people to help him out in the ways that the other one did. The other one, but then too, Bev Keane gives him shit for the robes that he's wearing, which again, it's not. It just comes across as like, oh yeah, he's why would he lie about that? Like he couldn't find the other robe that he needed. But it's like she even says something. It's like that's supposed to be for like, can't remember what she says in particular, for feeding or for
she basically is like telling him he should know, and she's correcting him, and like that's adding a little bit mystique. Like, oh, because at this point we don't know if he even is a priest. Mm-hmm. You know, he could be. But they're also leaving like red herrings that maybe he's faking this. Yeah, obviously there's some suspicious thing going on with the other priest, and everything he says seems real, but it's clouded in this like, yeah, but we can't trust him. So yeah, at this point they're hinting that maybe he's not, and I kind of like that because I'm thinking like, oh, is this guy have an ulterior motive? It's like no, it's just because he's the younger version of that self, you know?
Well, yeah, which yeah, I'll avoid talking too much about Bev Keane until next episode 2 is where she really comes in even more so. But I like earlier in the episode where they have like the kids, all the boys hanging out and like smoking weed and drinking. I like that they mention like that, oh, the things that die here or go in the water here wash up on the beach in front of like Riley's family's place. Like it's setting up for the ending where then this storm that they mention, which I like too, because it's like, oh yeah, they obviously, if they're like this island town, they're used, like they have big storms like this, hurricanes, things that then they all have like a routine to prep for, where they're like pulling out their big slabs of wood to cover up the windows and the sliding glass doors and shit. And I like that it's that like, because you're wondering of like, wait, is the old preacher just coming out and hanging out on the beach? Like, what's going on with this? But then it makes you wonder too of like, what? So that has to be, that's the vampire, right?
It is 100%. Yeah. In the old clothes.
Yeah, because then it's like, why is he wearing the old clothes? Unless fucking Linklater was like, if you're gonna go out like this, you got to be in these clothes.
it's like telling his fucking son, "Is you're gonna go out, you're gonna wear your seatbelt." Yeah. I don't know, because later in the show it comes back in the clothes as well. Yeah. I don't remember if there's a reason. I do actually. I remember just reading somewhat recently that the scene where you see the vampire on the beach in the clothes was a Netflix note. They wanted some sort of chase to kind of just hammer home that there's this beast on there, and Flanagan like fought against it, and that he basically said he had to give in and put that in because he needed to satiate so they didn't mess with more stuff. And I gotta admit, I don't think it's a bad addition. I mean, I guess removing it does keep a little more mystique, but I also, as somebody who likes shit like this, I like that they're chasing it. He looks tall and weird, so I know there's something off. I know it's not an old man, but it's wearing his clothes and there's a crazy storm. So I'm like, ooh, this is creepy. I like this. Like, well, what is this? You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. And I mean, I like how the storm is shot, because it's not like you're not getting this like big extravagant thing. It's mostly noise, because you're mostly getting it from the perspective of people, which like they're in their houses or they're in these buildings. So obviously they're not like out in the elements, though. I mean, when Riley goes out, we get more of it then. But even then, it's not like it's subtly done. It's not done in a way that it feels like, I don't know, corny and Netflixy.
No, it seems legit. It seems, like I said, like a real storm.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. Like I said, just thematically and just how they shoot it, I like it. It's adding mystery. Yeah. It doesn't feel forced. We know there's some weird thing walking around, so it's like, yeah, show me a little bit more. Like to hammer home that this thing is around, and that no matter what happens through the rest of the series, I need to keep in the back of my mind there's some weird fucking thing out in this island.
When the fucking storm comes through, and I totally forgot that the episode ends with all the dead cats on the beach. like holy shit, like he just, it's, I don't know, it's the kind of thing that I feel like, especially once that happened, I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like I remember the grand arc of this story, but I will, since it's been 4 years, I will have forgotten like the actual certain beats. So it's dark, but like I like that because it shows how much the vampire has been at work, but also that he probably has to move on to other prey soon because he's used up the cat population. Because if he had just stopped at the cats, I mean, he's doing some work for that island. He's getting rid of the
cats keep the rats away. So there's always an up. Now, what's more obvious now is the sheriff mentions a couple times to the mayor about disease, and there's a wound on the neck, but I just didn't the first time. And why would I take that as like, because I'm trying to kind of view like episode 1 and 2 and this whole show, like, okay, let's say I'm watching it for the first time. Again, the neck is kind of an obvious symbol of a vampire, but I just completely blow over. I'm like, oh, it could be this one was attacked or this one had a bite, but maybe the disease is still with it. Maybe something brings disease. Like it's still very vague, but watching it now, it's like, oh, a bunch of cats with their necks bitten. That's a vampire.
Let's not forget too, we do have, because there's the one cat that like comes across its dead buddy and like goes up and like investigates and then gets killed. Like gets fucking just yoinked. We don't obviously don't get to see it, but from that we know something is at work here. And even, I mean, did you get, so like, yeah, we're moving on to like, so episode 2, Psalms, which I love the titles for this, that they're all different, like Bible chapters.
Psalm is a song that what brings joy, brings people together. I forget what they say.
Yeah, but I like that. It's because again, it's keeping with this theme. Because I mean, as much as I was religious at different parts during my youth, I was never Catholic. So this definitely leans towards more of the Catholic upbringing.
Oh yeah, we had a conversation. What were you raised as?
Baptist.
Baptist, yeah.
So like the much looser, like they like have like rock music, like doing guitar, electric guitar in the.
Yeah, the Baptists have the better music. You got the gospel. I was raised Catholic, so it's like, yeah, a lot of this is familiar to me.
Yeah. Well, and do you get a mayor from Jaws type vibe from this mayor? Because like he's like immediately trying to throw out these theories for how the cats died.
He's trying to shut it down right away.
Yeah.
It's not even touristy, but it's like, yeah, it happens all the time. That bird just fell out once, and it's
he keeps saying he repeats natural causes like so many times throughout the exchange. It's like, oh, he keeps saying natural causes, and then at one point they're even like, yeah, mentioned sharks. Like, oh, probably got just like, well, they got wiped out and then got like eaten by sharks, which like, and then he like tries to spin it. He's like, I mean, but hey, if the sharks are back, that means the fish are back. So we're good. Like, this is great news.
He's immediately trying to, I do like that they make Rose sheriff character like pretty much brand new, and you can tell all the town is trying to bend him in the ways they need him. Like there's the mayor's basically saying, you're stepping over, you're stepping a little farther than what I'm paying you for. Like basically take it fucking back. Let's not bring up ideas. The Bev, when the sheriff goes and talks to her later in the episode, she's like, are you supposed to be here? Is there a reason you're here? Like basically saying, hey, as a sheriff, you don't go to the church. Like this isn't your jurisdiction. Like everybody in this town is trying to bend them and shape them and kind of let them know like you're the sheriff, but we're going to tell you how it runs. The whole town is crooked.
Yeah. I mean, the mayor, he's trying to get him to come to church at one point. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like, I know you go to, on Fridays, you go to, what is it? Like, the mosque. I can't remember.
Yeah, it'd be a mosque because he's Muslim. This, and he's like, that means you're free Sundays.
Yeah, like you can just stop in, show support for the community. Where it's like, dude, I can know your place like that. You cannot do that shit.
Well, the small little town, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love too that the church is nearly empty. Like the first service they show post storm. Fucking fantastic. Cause then it's just like, yeah. This is as much as religious as these people act like they are. Like they got shit to clean up. They got things to do. They have other priorities. where they're trying to clean up the island.
As I say, Father Paul even makes mention, I think it's in the last one, or maybe it was the first one. He's basically like, I understand that you come on Easter and you come in Christmas, but like, I need you to start showing up. And now that we've seen it, now we know it's like he gives that big impassioned speech because he needs them to show up here if he's going to help them.
Yeah.
It's like his whole long game is, I'm going to help every one of you, but I need you to get an ass in church every week.
Yeah. I mean, he even tries to encourage Riley to take because like Riley's dad, like Henry Thomas, is like, you don't take the communion. You're not a believer. This isn't something that you do. Because the mom obviously wants him to, but Riley has that guilt. The
mom is forgiving her. The mom just loves her son. The dad, which I think is pretty authentic in this kind of community where it's like, his faith is challenging him to forgive his son. You know, where the mom is like, it's my son. I obviously love my son. The dad is choosing church over his family, actually.
Yeah. When they also have Alexandra Esso's character, they have that moment where she's like, she thinks she saw her husband it's like, I saw her husband in the window.
He came to the window. Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, oh, that's fucking vampire. So many little things where you're like, oh yeah, it's just like the ravings of a fucking crazy person. But no,
they're all setting it up.
Yeah, Flanagan's setting everything up in this, which is amazing. Like, I love. There's so many like subtle things that are happening throughout this that you're like, oh damn, yeah, I didn't even realize that he was doing this or doing that. Which there's a thing too where it's like there's a familiarity that he has with people. For a good reason, because obviously he knows these people more so than they think that he does. But he's still smart enough to know that he can't like say and know everything. He lets people come to him with their issues, even if he already knows what these issues are, because he knows their history.
Yeah, he tries to set them up. That sounds bad, but he maybe tease them up. But the way he talks and stuff, he basically is like, well, obviously I don't know what you're going through, but if these are the feelings you're feeling, and he knows what they're feeling because he knows the actual issue. So he circumvents essentially how he gets to the end to always say like, okay, but if this is where you are and you want to talk about it, come to me. And it's like, so he's reaching these people for the first time, though to him, it's like, no, I'm just having to dance a little to kind of get you back. And I like that. I like how he plays that very reserved. Linklater, he always seems like he's like, I don't want to bother. He gives that. I listen. I don't want to bother. I don't want to get in your space. I like that, because this on paper, I always think of stuff like this. Like if you write this exact, just print me out the dialogue. Linklater's interpretation or direction of the character is essentially the entire thing. I mean, I'm not, the dialogue is great, but I could play a dialogue confident, and then the entire character changes. Yeah. His sort of meekness, I think, is very reassuring. Like I was like, fucking, I'll go to church with you, Mr. Linklater. I don't want to disappoint you. You seem so kind and just sort of, I don't know, sweet.
Yeah, he plays it off as someone who's like, even when because he like starts the AA chapter for Riley, where it's like he's trying to even treat it as like, this isn't me trying to get you into the religion, just trying to help you out with this, try to, make it so you don't have to make a trip.
Yeah,
something we should probably, it's something we should probably have on the island anyway, even though we don't have many, but we have enough that it should be, it should probably be a thing. It's like, obviously Robert Longstreet has some issues.
And we get, I think the first, or maybe not the first, but I'd say the first like really strong monologue of the show was when he explains to him, he's like, well, about drinking and about the accident. He gives a little monologue. It's like, he's like, no. It's like, I don't want to feel like I need to be, forgiven, or it's like, I did this, I deserve it. It's like, I'm not quoting this correctly because obviously I didn't write down the speech, but that beautiful speech in the wreck when he's giving it to the father, he's basically fucking telling father, like, your religion is wrong and your method to fix me is incorrect. And he says, fuck, I'm getting moved.
He says how suffering being a gift of God is bullshit.
Yes.
Because obviously everything religion it's always tried to be made into this like, well, God has a plan. God's testing you. Yeah, it's like this is so that you can then come out the other side with deeper understanding. It's like, well, I don't need to be dragged through the mud to be able to come to these understandings. Yeah, that speech is incredible, and that it was kind of a reminder where I was like, oh yeah, this is the monologue show. This is where like damn near every single character gets a Emmy-worthy like monologue. I mean, like award-winning monologue.
It's beautifully shot. You have there's so much empty space on like the right of Linklater, the left of Riley, and I picked up on this because I was like listening when music kicks in. It goes through a good chunk, and it's essentially just the room tone, and then you just get the music just kind of slowly comes in just a bit, and it's like right in the most emotional part of the monologue of the speech. I'm like, God, I keep saying speech, but monologue. Where I'm like, that's a shit. That's why this works.
Yeah,
it's like how he uses music. He's so good at that. He is so good. And I'm talking about the needle drops. I'm talking just like how he uses the score, because the score in this, and in fact, I'd say that's something he's really strong about. I should look up who the composer is. I'm assuming he uses the same, if not a couple, but like Midnight Mass, I would even say Bly Manor, and of course Haunting Hill House, I think have some of the best music. Yeah. Like I'm not brought to tears by beautiful monologues, but it's like that the music just does so much. The Newton Brothers did Midnight Mass. They're the composers, the Newton Brothers. I should look this up prior, but we'll do it live.
I think they're his guys.
Shelby Oaks. How's the music in that? Life of Chuck. House of Usher. Yeah.
Shelby Oaks. Oh yeah, because it's listed further down. Because I forgot because it's one of those like 2024.
Okay, so how about this? Newton Brothers have made me cry, and if you could fucking warm this cold icy heart of mine, then I will love you forever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scrolling through their thing right now, and they have a style that I like. I mean, of course, they've done every Flanagan thing going back to like even Gerald's Game. Before I Wake, they even did Hush.
Okay, so he's with them.
These are his guys. Yeah, to understand, it makes sense as to why they have such a good understanding of what he needs and what is required of his stuff, because Flanagan has a very unique style, so
they understand his emotional beats. I think that's important.
Yeah, and when to let the moment play out versus having music tell us what we need to feel. So that can be something that happens a little too often with other shows, where it's like the score practically dictates the entire emotional mood of the scene. Like that's fine every now and then, but there's times where it's like, especially when a character is giving like a big speech, it's like we need to just listen to these words.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like score is something I'm more disappointed with than excited for nowadays. Yeah. Like I could tell you the shows that I think have good scores and that they fit on my right hand, where I'm like, I feel like music is not used appropriately, or I don't think they put the effort into it. I think that's an old thing.
I mean, so much of everything is just licensed music these days.
Yeah.
So like what licensed music can we throw into?
But that's why Flanagan does well, because he has licensed music and he always has like a gorgeous score. Yeah. Where it's like usually having both those is, I think, kind of tough. Usually I feel like you got to put more effort towards one or the other, securing some good needle drops. And it's funny because me and Flanagan do not have the same music taste at all. I could fucking say that guaranteed. Yet every time he uses this song, I'm like, I like this song. When I look at the artist, I'm like, oh, never mind. I just like this song. Yep. And maybe he just knows how to pick the right song for the right scene. But I'm always impressed because this isn't the Bear where it's like, oh yeah, you're going to use a deep cut fucking live Van Morrison. Good for you. I'm like, I look up this guy. I'm like, I don't like his music, but I think this is a great song and it's a good emotional beat, a good little needle drop. Flanagan gets that.
Yeah, Flanagan understands the needle drop because there's definitely some things where it's like, I can't remember what, there's some show that like suddenly the needle drop song became kind of like almost like a parody because of the show. Maybe it might be Stranger Things I'm thinking of. It's like suddenly every show felt like they needed like, oh, we need to bring back some older song or a cover of something to then make this moment hit. But then I feel like you kind of get away from why it worked originally in the first place. And I say that as someone who's a big Stranger Things fan.
I love the first season a lot. I think of the Fear Street. I think we both watched that. Whereas like the needle drops were so aggressive. I was like, guys, you're now making this funny. We even if I like the song, it's like fucking that's like the sixth one, like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this from like I'm pretty sure they had a super no needle drop in that at the first episode. And I'm like, I usually don't want to turn away Soundgarden, but like we're doing too many. So Flanagan, again, I know we're blowing him a lot this episode, and I promise we're not getting I'm not getting Flanagan money. I'm blowing him because I love him. But he just gets the rhythm of these. It's like they're always right. They never last too long. They're always for an emotional beat. It's how you do it. It's never just to like rock out. I'm never just like, oh, he's playing a song I like. It's like, no, it makes sense to the part of the story.
Yeah. I want to talk about the flyover shot of the island, which is like clearly from the vampires POV.
That's a great shot.
You can hear the wings in the background, and I feel like that was kind of one of the moments where I'm like, oh, are we dealing with vampires in this? Is that what's happening?
You're smart. I didn't even catch it. Even this time I was like, it sounds like wings, but I could be like, I could see myself thinking it's wind, like or coat. But no. I mean, it's obvious. It is one of those things. Like I thought he was so clever for making a vampire because I'm like, there's just no hints. And it's just like actually, like there's a lot of hints. He's good at putting them next to something that I'm going to pay attention to a lot more.
Yeah, agreed. When so this would be the start of. Is it the start of Lent that they're doing?
Yes, because they got the ashes.
Yeah, which I haven't made sure to write down because I feel like it's so appropriate given where this show goes. It says, "You are dust, and to dust you will return." Which
good catch.
Is this something they actually say at the start of Lent? Because holy shit, does it work so well, like for this instance? So then, but again, I'm not Catholic, so I don't know.
I mean, it's hard to say, dude. I'm not like I'm a Cook County Catholic, so it's like, you know, I go for all the holidays with my parents and stuff like that. I don't know. I never really paid attention. I don't think he's using any dialogue that is incorrect. So if that's not said, it's somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's a quote from the book of Genesis. You are dust, and to dust you will return.
So who knows? Flanagan does his work.
So who knows? Wait a minute. The phrase is a central part of the Ash Wednesday liturgy, marking the beginning of Lent in some Christian traditions.
Okay.
Wow. What, like, that has to be one of those moments where like if you're Flanagan, you're just like writing this and you're going, oh.
Yeah, he's giving himself a fucking high five.
Yeah, where it's like, it's never come together better. Because that's super impressive, like to have that kind of connection. Which you got to assume that there's at least someone on staff that was a Catholic.
I think Flanagan's Catholic. He has to be. I mean, just there's stuff in Hunting Hill House. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this guy's an old Catholic. I was going to say that we haven't mentioned, and I think he does. I think his speech, and I believe it's episode 3 is what I'll talk about. But Robert Longstreet he's in a little, but we're setting up the fact that this man accidentally like shot a girl. He's drunk. He's a piece of shit. People hate him. We kill his fucking dog.
Yeah, that the dog thing happens in episode 2.
Yeah.
Bev Keane, I think, may be my most hated character to ever exist. She gives that bitch from the Mist a run for her money. Dude,
I would say they're sisters. Like the Mist, I remember the first episode I got so upset. I think I said this. I threw my lighter at the TV. And this first time, like now I'm able to kind of look at it more in acting and just like how great Samantha, is it Sloan? Sloan? I don't know.
Sloan.
Fantastic actress. I love her. But like the first time I watched the show, I had trouble watching it. I got so visibly upset because she is like everything that like she's the reason the world is shit right now. This exact character. Yep. The reason that like, you know, my life is bad is because of people like her.
her poisoning the dog and her reaction afterwards is like so full of hate. It's like you just get from her body language of like, oh, she's the one that did it 100%. And then once fucking Rahul Kohli goes and talks to her, it's like, then you're you're like 100% she did it. Like 100% she did it. She's like almost like taunting the sheriff with the fact that she did it.
That's the scene that lets you know that she is the villain of the story. There's a monster on the island, but she's the villain because she says essentially, oh my God, I feel so terrible if I did. But you're not saying I did it, right? You don't have proof I did it, right? You're not coming into my fucking place. Like she got all mafia'd up in the most polite Christian way of like, but you wouldn't be in here in the house of God accusing me, would you? And just looking at him like, because you can't, because I won. Get out. Like she's letting you know I'm in charge. There's nothing you can do. I run this. And like, please do not embarrass yourself by even mentioning or insinuating that I could ever harm the dog. It's like, oh, you evil, evil, evil witch. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever wanted to kill someone more just from watching something like this because she's so good. She's playing Margaret White, Carrie's mom in the Carrie TV show. And like,
oh. Yeah. Okay, I don't know that. What a great decision that is. So essentially, she'll be playing a version of this.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, very much a version of this where it's like that's going to be absolutely perfect. You really couldn't ask for better casting.
Storytelling, good storytelling. It's like you set up right away how evil and how much you hate her and how much you want her dead, and by the last second of this show, she's begging and screaming, finding no joy, clawing at the ground. It's like. That might be like the best thing since an orgasm. Watching her scream.
Most satisfying.
I've never felt more like a relief. I was like, oh my God, that's how you do it. You set her up as the biggest fucking villain you could have and then give her the worst ending. Alone, screaming and digging. It's like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's so well done. And she gets more and she gets like more pompous as it goes along because she also... I think Flanagan, for her, I think it's a lot more subtle. I think it's just like she has like stuff on her cheeks to make her cheeks like a little like bigger. Then I think that goes away as the story progresses because obviously she's also taking the blood. That's like she has a more subtle transformation as well. But also she's not like super old either, so it's like she didn't have to have this crazy transformation.
I didn't actually pick up on her stuff the first time. Like at least I don't remember like any thoughts about it. So I'm actually excited to, I'll be more keen to seeing the changes this time than I was the first. Cause you know, there's a great chance that I even at one point was thinking like, are you forgetting the old man makeup this episode? You know, cause this is a show where I feel like them holding information back does make you think they're fucking up a couple times when absolutely they have everything planned.
Yeah. I mean, Henry Thomas and what's her name? The Riley's mom, Kristen Lehman, Annie Flynn. They've pulled back on the makeup where then you're like, why does she look like, why do they look slightly younger? Like, it's like, yeah, did they just not, was it COVID? They just like weren't able to do this. And it's like, no, it's all purposeful. They're doing this for a reason. There's
great shows like I could name that have done similar things where it's like there's something's off and I'm like, why are you making this mistake? And 2 episodes later, like, oh, this happened. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, but because we live in a world where just mistakes happen, and I do think, you know, the internet age has made people just more keen-eyed to see stuff like that. Like that thought goes through your mind. And I love Flanagan, but he's, you know, I mean, the man, he's not perfect. He did the Midnight Club, you know?
Yeah, very true. Well, and it's also like, did you remember Lisa getting up from her wheelchair happens so much sooner in the story than I remember. I was not expecting that moment to happen like when it does.
I mean, I don't remember the episode happened, but I remember being early just because that's the first sign that outside of a monster that there's 100% supernatural things going on. And again, I can't stress this enough. Mystical redemptions, forgiveness, fucking sacrifice, islands, healing powers. It's like, I'm fucking fully. And I was like, I want more shit. Go as mystical as you possibly can. So her getting up and the fucking, but what I forgot is the dad being like visibly upset, almost crying. It's like, this isn't funny. Do you think this is a joke? And it's like, everybody's freaking out. Like, I forgot that. Like, I remember it just being this beautiful part. I now think that's good directing and good writing, where you have a couple beats of essentially the town turning on this guy. Like, it becomes tense. Like, I'm not even thinking the girls to stand up. I'm thinking this delusional priest is going to get killed. And then she stands.
Because fucking Hamish Linklater is fucking insane in that moment. You're like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Like,
he steps on the stairs because she thinks he wants him in the, or she thinks he wants her to move up. So she moves up and he fucking goes, no. Steps on the stairs.
It's like, yeah, at that point you're like, what is the deal with this guy? Is something fucked? Like, is he fucked in the head? Such a great, like, you don't expect those moments.
That's how you end an episode. What a great ending. Because thank Christ these were not released episode by episode. I mean, I don't even like that format anymore. It's like, let me watch things in my own time. I know people are like, well, it helps with engagement. I don't give a shit. I want to, please do it like this.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a memory of watching this late, having to work the next day. I was like, okay, babe, we can watch one more. I'll get 4 hours of sleep. I'll just have to basically be sad and tired and miserable for like the next 24 hours.
Yeah, because it's when it's a show like this, you just like want to keep going. You're so intrigued by what's happening. Plus, I mean, the scene before that church service is the drug dealer getting killed by the vampire in the abandoned house. So then you're like, oh shit, he's moving on from cats.
Steps up and it's just this tall thing. Yeah, and I like the glowing eyes. I like how they represent the vampire in this. Yeah, because it's essentially just something tall with glowing eyes. It's like, oh god, I love a good monster.
Yeah, it does. There's moment like I think it's probably just because I watched all 3 Salem's Lot adaptations in this past month.
Yeah.
So,
big Salem's Lot guy?
No, my girlfriend is. So, and she also has a podcast and they were doing like a comparison between all 3 and they did like a scorecard.
Respect that.
Yeah,
so do you like them more now that you've seen them? I mean, they're not my thing.
I actually bought the original one it was like $8 for the Blu-ray. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick this up. And even the Rob Lowe one wasn't terrible. Like they definitely had some, it's super like 2000s, which you wouldn't like.
I remember coming out and being like, this looks like shit.
Yeah. But like I was quite charmed by it. And Rutger Hauer is the main, what is it? Barlow. So,
yeah, but they don't do the makeup in that one. Because I think it's actually more off of the book. It's a book, I believe. The makeup doesn't like that Nosferatu look isn't in the book.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I don't even think I finished the new one because I hate the new one. I think the new one is such a piece of shit. So that was the only one that I didn't bother with. It's like, no, this is not my thing. I don't like how CGI it is, and it doesn't work for me. But no, there's a lot. So for this viewing, I've just noticed a lot more Salem's Lot-y type, I don't know, beats and just how things are presented. And like even I think the monster himself kind of has that like, looks like the classic like Nosferatu look to him.
I mean, once they get into it, absolutely, it has that more, that pale face.
Yeah, which then the glowing eyes also, that's like a Salem's Lot thing. So I don't know any other movies that do vampires with glowing eyes. Maybe there's something that I just don't know of. I don't feel like I'm the
worst person to think like this.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you know that. Because guess what? I now have access to the Spotify, like our actual official Spotify account, so I can respond to shit on Spotify through Needlessly Nostalgic. So
it only took a year. Have we hit our year mark yet?
Lance, we're a year and a half into this. We're closer to 2 years.
I thought we just hit a year.
We started it in February of 2024.
Hold on. Maybe I'm looking for a year. Am I looking for 100 episodes? There's a milestone I was waiting for.
Yeah. Maybe you're looking for 100 episodes, which that's not going to come until after, like, that'll come like 4 weeks after the 2-year mark.
Well, because that's when we could get
4
into
weeks before the
syndication.
2-year mark.
We can make that Seinfeld money, we should get on CBS.
Yeah, exactly. That's the next step. Get Seinfeld money for our podcast where we talk about random ass movies. Are you kidding me? We've made all this progress with Halloween. We've gotten good viewership and listeners, and fucking Midnight Mass is just gonna drain every. We're like, what? I'm not listening to this.
It's a brilliant show. So listen, this isn't for I'm not talking about this for reviews. I'm talking this because we love it. Yeah, and that's important.
We've literally, Lance and I have talked about doing Midnight Mass since before Needlessly Nostalgic was even a thing, when we were just formulating what stuff we would talk about. And it was, we have to do Midnight Mass at some point. And we'll also likely cover Haunting of Hill House in a similar way at some point as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a very important piece of television like this.
Yeah.
Set things up.
Yep, I agree. And I think we've done it. We've talked through the first 2 episodes, Genesis and Psalms. I'm so excited that we have this recorded now, because it means that I can watch the next 2 episodes. Thank God.
3 and 4, buddy. 3 and 4. We're not going to rate the episodes, right? That's kind of hard.
I fucking 4 out of 4, all these episodes.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, this can be a boring 4 out of 4.
I was going to say, what's the point? It's like they're all 4 out of. It would be like the Evil Dead series all over again, where we're just like, 4 out of 4. 4 out of 4.
I feel to me, it's the problem with TV is I look at like a TV season as like a book, and each episode is a chapter. Yes. So it's like, it's so creating a chapter. It's like, maybe that chapter didn't have as much as chapter 4, but this chapter needs to set up shit. So it's like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel giving grades is it's tough when it comes to stuff like this, because it's a whole.
Yeah. Especially for a TV show like this. It's like, if we're covering it, chances are we really like it and it's impactful to us. So it's not just something that we're like, I guess we can just talk about these things. But,
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all for this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can make sure to subscribe to our Patreon. We just did some fun stuff for October. We also have a Threadless store, threadless.needlesslynostalgic.com. And then, follow us on Instagram. We post some fun stuff on there. And we just last week had our ranking episode, which you can see the full video form, as well as there's audio for it. But the video should be up through Spotify as well as on YouTube. So definitely want to check that out, because I think it's one of our most fun episodes to date. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. And next week we will be covering episodes 3 and 4 of Midnight Mass. We will see you then. Goodbye.